Hello students, in last video we have studied the few types of operating system. So the remaining operating system we will discuss in this video. So we have studied the types of operating system up to batch to multiprocessing. That is batch operating system we have studied multiprogramming, multitasking and multiprocessing. These four types we have already studied in the last video. So the remaining three we will discuss in this video. So first in that the first is the real time operating system. So, what do you mean by real time operating system here? How you can define here the RTOS? So, in short, you may call this RTOS, that is real time operating system. So, now the definition. So, RTOS is defined as a data processing system in which the time interval required to process and response to input is so small. Means what? Or even one more definition for this real time operating system is a system in which the process time and the response time is so small. Okay, so what you mean by this is, so whenever I'll give the input to the certain system, immediately it has to give the output. So that is the process time and the response time is so small. So what do you mean by process time here? The time taken by the system to start that task, you can say. So the time taken by the system to start the task is nothing but the process time. So what do you mean by response time? So response time is the time interval between the input and the output by the system. That is time taken from input to output. So response time is what? So whenever I'll give the input to the system, immediate it is going to display the output. So how much time it has taken to display the output, that is nothing but the response time. So the RTOS is a system in which the processing time and the response time is so small, or it is the data processing system in which the time interval required to process and response to input is so small. So the RTOS is going to be used when we are having the fixed time constraint or the fixed time requirement. So in that case, we can use this RTOS. So this system is, or this OS, we are going to use when we are having the fixed time requirement in the operation of a processor. So now, so as I told, this RTOS is having the fixed time constraint. So within that time only the processing must be done, and within that defined time it has to display the output. So otherwise the system is going to be fail. Means what? So already in RTOS it is having the some fixed time constraint. So if I give the 5 seconds, so within that 5 seconds it has to process the processing is nothing but it has to it has to start the execution, and within that specified time it has to finish its execution. Okay, so now this type of operating system is used in now our real time in our day to day life. Okay, so that is in controlling the traffic signals, and in robotics, nuclear reactor, industry control system, even in satellites, missile firing, and in medical systems. So now these are the some few examples of this RTOS. So again, in RTOS we are going to study the two types of RTOS, that is the hard and the soft RTOS. So now we'll come to the hard RTOS. So in hard RTOS the deadline is handled very strictly. So now deadline means what? So or what deadline or which deadline it is telling. So the deadline is what here? The time deadline. So within that time only we have to finish our task, you can say. So as I told in the definition, so here the what do you mean by hard here is strictly we are going to follow that rule. So what rule? Within that time only, no delay, nothing is going to be allowed or acceptable. Okay, so the deadline is handled very strictly, which means the given task must start executing on specific time, and before finishing or within that assigned time duration only, it has to finish its execution. So now the examples of this hard RTOS are, you can say a missile launching, or this satellites launching, or even in aircraft system and medical critical care system, this hard RTOS has been used. Okay, got it? So hard RTOS means what? The delay is not allowed here. Okay, so that is what delay, the time, the deadline is handled very strictly. Okay, so this is hence the name is here hard RTOS. So now coming to the soft RTOS, in soft RTOS it is just opposite to the hard RTOS. So here some delays are going to be acceptable. There is a deadline. Even in RTOS, you know there is a timing constraint or the fixed time is there, but in hard RTOS there is no what you can say, a delay is not acceptable. So in soft RTOS we can accept the delay, but for the shorter amount of time. Okay, so in soft RTOS it is going to accept some delays by the system. So there is a deadline assigned for a specific job, but a delay for small amount of time is going to be acceptable. So these timing deadlines are handled softly. Okay, so hence the name is here soft RTOS. Okay, so here the example is online transaction system. So whenever we are going to purchase online shopping here, for example, we are cash we are going to give online. Okay, so how? By, so if I give here the debit card number, it is going to send the certain OTP to our what mobile number. So within that it has decided the some, it has specified the certain amount here. Okay, so certain delays are acceptable. So hence the online transaction system is here one of the best example of soft RTOS. So now the second next operating system is a distributed operating system. Here a distributed operating system is the collection of independent computers. So distributed operating system is the collection of independent computers that are going to be that are capable of communicating with each other. Means what? Here in distributed operating system we are having the number of computers collectively, or the collection of independent computers are available, but those computers are going to be communicate with each other. So how they are going to be communicating? They are going to communicate with each other by certain network. So by which network, or which network is going to be used in distributed operating system? So the LAN, WAN, MAN. So these networks you are going to study in the DC. Okay, so how you are going to define this distributed operating system? A distributed operating system is the collection of independent computers that are capable to communicate among themselves through the network. So what network they are going to use? LAN, WAN and MAN. So one more important thing in distributed operating system is, in distributed operating system, the processors cannot going to share the memory or any input devices or clock. Means there is no resources is going to be shared by the computers. The independent computer, all the computer is having their own memory, input devices, etc., all the resources. So each processor is having its own local memory, processors, and the remaining input output devices and the clock. Okay, so now, so one more thing here, a distributed operating system. So why here distributed? What is the meaning of distributed here? So distributed operating system is going to allow the number of computers. So as I told in the definition, it is the collection of independent computers. So how they have been connected by through a network, or they are going to be communicate with each other by network. So in distributed operating system, it allows a number of computers geographically separate locations to work cooperatively in gathering, storing, and processing the information. Means what? Distributed operating system is not only in certain system or in certain location only. They don't have the collection or they don't have the connection between one system to another. So if I'm sitting here and if you all are sitting in your home, there is a communication between the computers. So that is nothing but the distributed operating system, and how they are going to communicate by a network called LAN WAN MAN. So that is nothing but the geographical. So geographical is what? Not any specific location. It may be a different location. It has a connection, you can say. So what are the advantages of distributed operating system? So now a user at one place may be able to access the resources of another location. Okay, so if I'm sitting here and I want to access the a certain or I want to use the input or the output devices of your location, then it is possible. That is nothing but the resource sharing. So now the second advantage is the load sharing. So load sharing is what? So if in certain location, if there is a traffic in between the network. So traffic is not road traffic here, and overloaded sites, you can say a network problem. So an overloaded sites can be shifted and executed by the other remote sites. So if in one place, if there is a delay of networking, then I may shift that work to the some other location, and in that location the computers are going to be able to execute that task, you can say. So now if in certain location some certain failure has been occurred, so if in one place the failure has been occurred, so that failure is not effect or is not going to be affect to the some other locations. Okay, so that is so how it is reliable. So now, as I told in the definition, the fourth advantage is the communication. So the processes executing at different locations, even they can communicate to exchange any useful information. So these distributed operating systems are used in our telephone network, in cellular network, and even in ATM machine, and even in our mobile computing. So this is the distributed operating system. So the next is the network based operating system. So directly in slide I have mentioned the types of network operating system. So before explaining the types of network operating system, I'll go to the what you mean by your network based operating system. So network is what now? A network is having the a number of nodes, and that node is having the many resources. So when we want to use the resources, we need to know where the resources are available and connect that machine to that available resources. Okay, a network is having the number of nodes, and that node is having the many resources. So whenever I want to use that resources, I need to know where that resource is available and connect that machine to that available resource. So this is nothing but the network based operating system. So there are two types of network based operating system. So as you can see on slide here, the first one is the peer-to-peer network operating system. So here in peer-to-peer operating system, the users are going to allow the users are allowed to share the resources and files. So peer-to-peer network operating system is what? The users are going to share the resources and files on their computers and access the shared resources from others. So network is what here? Again, network is nothing but the collection of a computer. So one computer, if this computer if I want to share the certain data or the certain resource to the some other computer, I can, or even I can access the certain resources from that computer. So that is nothing but the peer-to-peer network. So here in this peer-to-peer network, all the computers are going to act as the clients and the servers as themselves. Okay, so here the no chance of failure means there is no failure is going to occur, because all the computers are going to act as the server and the clients itself. Okay, So why? What do you mean by peer-to-peer network? And within that network, the every computer or the all computers here all computers are having the same ability to share the resources, and access the resources. Okay, so hence the name is the peer-to-peer network. So next is a client server network operating system. So here the server. So this, what do you mean by server? Server is nothing but one computer and client is again the computer. So server is what? The server is only a one computer and the clients are the remaining computers are will be act as the clients here. So what is server? The server is going to manage all the things. So what manage it is going to do? It is going to allow the, or it is going to give the resources to the remaining clients, you can say. So here it allows the network to centralize the functions and applications in one or more dedicated servers. So the server is the center of the system. It allows the access to resources and the security. So here the failure is possible because if the server is going to be failed, then there is no use of the client. So it takes the requests from the clients to satisfy their requirement. So now first client is to, the client has to the client is going to request to the server. So what request or which type of request it is going to send to the server? Because here, for example, if I want to access here the memory of certain whatever the resource I want to access, then I have to first take the permission of a server. So if the server is given the if the server is going to give the permission, then only I am able to access that memory or the any resources. So this is, so here ends the types of operating system. Thank you.